Welcome to the You Need More Money podcast. I'm your host, Matt Manero, where I come to you each and every week from my studio in Dallas, Texas. I'm the host with the most. I got bells on for you. I love doing this podcast. And the feedback that we get is incredible. Billy and I love to see the feedback, whether it pops up on Instagram or it pops up on YouTube, or you email me at mmanero@cffnationwide.com, whatever. Just tell us what you think about it, man. And tell us what you'd like to see us do. And doggone it, give me some support on this 50 by 50 that I'm doing, trying to lose this weight by my 50th birthday, which is February 28th. I'm down 24 pounds, and I'm sort of right in the thick of it, man. I got a little bit of pain in my shoulder. I think I might have pulled something in my hamstring, the old hammy pop. The weight sort of flattened out a little bit. I mean, I'm in the throes of this weight loss, man. This thing ain't easy, but nothing good is. So don't forget that. Nothing worthwhile is easy. It always takes a little bit of difficulty. I hope you liked the last two podcasts, because what we were talking about on them were this structural methodology that we teach in Business Finishing School. And I'm going to keep going with it on today's podcast because it changed everything for me. When we created values and we created management by objectives, and for what I'm going to talk about today on what we refer to as rhythms, man, it changed everything for you. Guys, I am not a chaotic Superman business owner anymore. I'm actually a pretty peaceful guy. And the results keep coming. The chaos that you live with and the chaos that I lived with in our business for so long I did it doesn't have to exist. There is a better way. There is a structured roadmap on how you can get your freaking life back and the business can still take off. And that's what I want to teach today. I hope you can tell that I'm passionate about teaching you these structures. Today what I want to teach about are what we call rhythms. Now, some people might call them meetings. I don't like the term meetings. We in Business Finishing School don't like the term meetings. We refer to them as rhythms because there is a rhythmic nature to them. There's a beat to it. It happens every single week. Because really what you're doing with your meetings, just like I used to do with my meetings, is you're going to send out an email that said, everyone meet at the conference table in 10 minutes. Dude, that freaks out your organization. You don't want to be doing stuff like that. Hell, I still send emails that say, please swing by my office. And I know the person who opens is like, oh shit, am I going to get fired today? Is that why he's telling me to come by? No, dude, I'm just here to talk to you for a minute. Even that is probably not what I should be doing. But we have rhythms in the office, and you need to have rhythms in your office and in your life. Because despite the fact that rhythms do require discipline, and sometimes that discipline can be looked at as boring, or it could be looked at as not creative, or it could be looked at as mundane, the end result is most people crave rhythm. They crave the ongoing beat of progression. And that's what a rhythm in your organization does. So let me tell you exactly how you got to put this together. First things first, you have to determine who you need to have your rhythms with. In my office, it's with the division heads. Once a week. In fact, with my senior project manager, it's twice a week. But we have a structured rhythm. It's on the calendar at the same time. I don't double book it. I'm available for that person at that time, and the person is available for me. There is no sort of fly by the seat of your pants when you create rhythms. You put them on a damn calendar, everybody knows they're on the calendar, and you damn well better not miss it. That's an important part about your rhythms. Talk to your people and say, hey, I want to have a rhythm with you. They're not going to know what that means exactly. In fact, most of them are going to be concerned about it because you've had bad meetings with them, you were overbearing to them, or it turned out to be just to talk shit about other people in the office meeting. That's not what a rhythm is. A rhythm is a rhythmic sit down in which you talk about the objectives within the division that the people that you're meeting with have. So let me go through it real quick. First step, setting up rhythms, is you got to figure out who you're going to meet with. The second thing you got to do when you set up your rhythms is, what the hell are you going to talk about? Because rhythms can go really bad if you aren't structured in the conversation flow of your rhythms. And so I'm going to tell you exactly what we talk about in my rhythms. It starts with a quote on a sheet. We have a sheet of paper called our rhythm sheet. And the first thing that the person does when they come into my office to start our rhythm is they tell me a quote. I want to know what's on their mind. What are they thinking about? What does it relate to? There's no right or wrong. There's no judgment on it. I just kind of would like to know, what do you think is of interest to you from a quote standpoint? I mean, if you said to your employees, hey, do me a favor and pick your favorite quote, most would have no idea what you're talking about. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't know what to do. They wouldn't even know why you're asking the question. But in a rhythm, and with a rhythm sheet that tells everyone exactly what's going to happen in the rhythm, the first thing we do is ask you for a quote. The second thing we talk about is what we call pick and poke. I want to know, what are you happiest since I last saw you about on a rhythm, and what are you most unhappy? So that's where it gets a little bit wild, right? Some people might say my pick is that I lost 2 pounds, and my poke is that Jenny quit. All right, well, fine. I'm not judging picks and pokes. I just want to know, are you analyzing what was successful, and are you analyzing what was unsuccessful? That's why the success is called a pick and the unsuccessful is called a poke. The next thing we dig into in our rhythm is a review of the 5 objectives that the person is working on. That's management by objectives. What are the 5 things that we agreed upon under the SMART acronym, which I told you on the previous podcast, and how are you doing in achieving those objectives, right? And then as the manager, or the owner, you just want to bump them along that path. Maybe, oh, have you tried this? Have you tried that? But you want your people to be able to recite the objectives. Here's what's going to happen when you do this. The first time, most people probably won't have a quote. First time, let me be frank. First time, most people won't bring the rhythm sheet. They'll be like, oh man, I forgot about that thing. You were serious about that? You really wanted me to fill that out? Yeah, I want you to fill it out. Then I'll come in and be missing the quote, and they really won't understand what the pick and poke is. It's a learning process. But basically, by about rhythm 2 or 3, week 2 or 3, they better have it down. They bring you the objectives, you help them on the field. The next thing I want to know about in the rhythm is what's most important to me, honestly, is I want to know who you're watching, who you're reading, and who are you listening to. I want to know, what are you feeding your brain? Now, I'm not judgmental about this, but I'd sure like if you're a leader of one of my divisions and you're struggling in your leadership, or perhaps you fell down and one of your pokes was that you didn't handle a situation right. I'd like to see you watching some YouTube videos or reading a great book on leadership versus sports talk radio. So I want to know who you're reading, who you're watching, and who you're listening to. The second to last piece of our rhythm, and this is totally, if you're watching this on YouTube, I do not have our sheet in front of me. This is right out of my memory because we've done it so many times, is I want to know, what do you need from me? It's an amazing question as an owner or a manager. If you manage people, you should be asking them on a regular basis, what do you need from me? And then the last thing that I want to know about is what we call the BHAG, the big, hairy, audacious goal. What's this juicy, fat thing that you're shooting for? And I don't need it to connect to the business. I just want to know, man, what's this big mission that you got, man? Are you fighting for destiny? Are you trying to figure out destiny? Then just tell me what your BHAG is, because that I might be able to help you in that category. So I just gave you a lot there. I want to teach you foundationally how to rebuild your business through the way I did it at Business Finishing School. I'm going to finish this podcast with a little bit of a sales pitch, and I hope you don't take offense to it, because I never want this podcast to be looked at as a sales pitch. If you like what I'm doing here, I want you to be part of the energy field and the movement and the tribe. But I don't want you to feel obligated, man. You ain't paying for this, and I ain't getting paid to do it. This is my give back to the entrepreneurial community. Would I like you to buy my book, You Need More Money on Amazon? Of course. Would I like you to buy The Grit? Of course. Would I like you to do other things and come and see me speak? Of course. Would I like you to buy a ticket to Business Finishing School in February 22, 23, and 24? Hell yeah. I can't imagine why you wouldn't, for $599, come and learn the stuff that I'm talking about here. And if you just got one of these ideas and put it into play, it would more than pay for the cost of the event, and that ain't even the real reason I want you to be part of this Transformation Now movement. That's why I brought Tim Story in. That's why I'm bringing Elena Cardone in. That's why I'm teaching the transformation module at it. That's why we're teaching the profit paradigm. That's why we're teaching the transformation sequence at the event. We're helping you transform your business from this chaotic, frustrating mess that it often is into this well-oiled, beautiful machine. And I believe there's no better content on the planet than what we deliver in Business Finishing School. So go to bfssummit.com, pony up the $5.99, and join me in Dallas, Texas on February 22, 23, and 24. I'll see you down the road.